Hi there, my name's Leanne. I work for ERG and I specialise in recruiting Java developers within the Midlands. Really keen to introduce you to Darren here. He's a Walsall-based full-stack developer. He's got 10 years commercial coding experience, 7 or 8 of which are in Java. 2.5 of those is in Java 8, and he's even done a project in Java 10, which is sort of fresh off the press, I guess. He's also touched a little on Enterprise Edition and Hibernate over at Infor, who are known for taking on exceptional developers. Provided some great references from down there as well. Now, he's found himself in the unfortunate position of being immediately available following SP Group, where he's worked at since 2014, going to administration. So, yeah, as I say, he's provided some great references, and I'm really keen to introduce you to him. So, hi, Darren, how are you?
Hello, I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you, very well. Are you happy if I fire away into a few questions?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Brilliant. So, what are your favourite technologies at the moment and why?
I can think of 3. Vertex, that's a Java technology, Docker, which is a container technology, and AngularJS, which is a JavaScript front-end technology. Starting with Vertex, I find it's a nice way to develop applications quite quickly. Recently, I compared this to the Spring framework, and I think they've got Spring Boot, which I've dabbled in slightly, but I'm more confident on the Vertex side, so that's where I tend to have that favoritism towards Vertex. Docker is a really interesting technology. It allows you to contain elements of the operating system, databases, and your actual deployed code in a great way of basically starting up new instances. And I find that really interesting technology to where you can deploy stuff out quite quickly. And AngularJS, which is a great way of structuring your client code. Normally you have JavaScript files everywhere and quite messy, from what I've seen anyway in my past, but it gives a nice structure to the code, and it's easily maintainable, and it's nice. It's very fun to work with.
Okay, perfect. So I guess then, walk me through in detail your project that you're most proud of, and your involvement in it.
I'll go back to SP Group, and that would be a project called Spark. Mm-hmm. It started off with my lead developer creating a skeleton Spring project and handing it over to me with the requirements. And what it essentially is a PDF rendering tool. And it was to replace the existing PHP solution, which was generating 10,000 PDFs every 24 hours, which is quite slow for the business. So there was looking at a Java solution, and that was my project to look at. I started looking at different node worker platforms that work within Java and Spring specifically. And the one I found was GridGain. So I implemented that in there, a RESTful service to take in the oncoming requests from other systems. And the RESTful service would take in a XML data file and a XSL FO artwork file, and between the two they would spit out PDF files. So when we eventually deployed the application and did some performance testing on that, we found that it was generating 100,000 PDFs every hour, which was a considerable performance boost. And I got a lot of positive feedback from across the business when I did this, and because of this, they integrated it through the other third-party systems because of the performance, because they were still requiring to render PDFs on their systems. So it was quite a successful project, and I got a lot of positiveness from my lead developer as well. I was quite impressed at how I handled it, and I think the turnaround was about 3 to 4 months as well, which was under his original requirement for 6 months, I think. So,
wow, impressive! Congratulations on that one.
Thank you.
A testament, I guess, to your work ethic. I was talking to Darren earlier about his 4-hour commute he did in his early career. So he's not afraid of putting the hours in, that's for sure.
That's right.
So moving on then, so tell me a little bit about the role that you'd most like to sort of go into.
I'd like to focus more on Java technologies, primary Spring. As I say, I've been in Vertex, and revisiting Spring now after a few years, it looks like they've evolved a lot more and incorporated some of Vertex's technology. So, and because Vertex isn't well documented and Spring is, it looks like that's where I want to go forward with. I still want to keep within web development and web services, because I find that the most interesting to develop against. I'm always passionate about challenging on new technologies as well, so that feeds into that. Prototyping, etc. Just want to work with a good team and get more exposure to agile working practices as well.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, and so what about the sort of company that you're looking to go into? Tell me a little bit about that.
I don't think there's a particular sector I'd like to work with. No, in regards to preference, I've worked with several sectors like print services with XP Group and the financial with Global Insurance, and they've all come with their own challenges, which I found interesting. So yeah, sector-wise, I'm open because there's always going to be a challenge regardless of what sector I start in. Ideally, I'd want to find a company with that kind of family feel, because I tend to thrive in those environments. It's not important, but that's how you get the best out of me, I reckon. I also would like to find a team that has like more experience than low experience. I know you tend to get that anyway, but like a small to medium-sized team. So I've got more experienced developers to lean on and learn from, and I've got junior developers to support and mentor, and that feeds into my career progression, because where I want to go is to become more of a mentor and team leader role eventually. Obviously, eventually in time I'd like to get there.
Perfect. All righty then, Darren, if you've not got anything else to add for today, thank you very much for your time, and we'll be in touch soon.
Thanks ever so much. Bye.